Transportation for It's Your Call guests provided by Preferred Car and Limousine.
Thanks for joining us again, everyone. I'm Lynn Doyle. We've been speaking with Louis Busico, who is the attorney representing Bonnie Sweeten. You know her as the so-called hoax mom. Well, he's been giving us some insight into her state of mind during that entire incident. Now, for a look at this case from the prosecution side, we're joined by Sadie LaDove. She's the chancellor of the Philadelphia Bar Association and a former prosecutor in one of the toughest spots in the country, the Bronx. Sadie, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
What was your initial reaction as a former prosecutor when you heard about this situation?
Well, I was really appalled. At first, I had the same reaction of everyone on Facebook and all the social networking sites of, oh my God, another poor woman and her child kidnapped by two crazies, and then 12 hours later, it's a hoax. So many things ran through my mind as a mother, as a lawyer, as a former suburbanite. I can't begin to tell you, Lynn. First of all, the thing that offended me the most was, again, the race card that got played. It was every suburban mother's, let's blame it on the black folk.
But you heard her attorney say that it was just a convenient excuse at the time of the call, that it could very well have been anyone who was in the car in front of her.
You know, Lynn, I said to Lou Busico earlier that Bonnie Sweeten should fall down on her knees and thank the Lord that he is her lawyer, because he is measured, he is fair, he is straight, and he is true. But you can't have it both ways. If Bonnie Sweeten had the presence of mind to know that her phone has a GPS and she randomly picks out the vehicle that's in front of her and says, oh, two black guys, how whacked out could she have been? She was able to put together a very complex set of facts very, very quickly. So I've got a problem with the whole idea of that she was so stressed out she didn't know what she was doing.
Is the prosecution going to be tougher on her because the race card was played and because that race card evokes so many emotions, particularly anger among the African American community?
I think so, and I think that the biggest problem that Bonnie Sweeten has to overcome, in my mind, is the absolute abuse of the system and the waste of resources allocated as a result of this ridiculous hoax.
Is it fair if the prosecution is tougher on her because people just don't like the fact that two black men were used as scapegoats? Is that fair?
It's not fair, but when you cobble together all of the elements, the pointing the finger at two innocent black men, the waste of resources, the waste of the media's time, the use of the waste of the first responders.
Are they crimes, though? I mean, she is facing misdemeanor charges.
Sure.
Are those things crimes for which she will have to pay?
Yes.
Or is it just bad judgment?
Well, no, these are crimes. You may remember the case of the runaway bride several years ago, who...
We did that on this show.
That's exactly right. One of the elements of her punishment was to make restitution to the police department of the town where she lived for the time that they spent investigating her alleged kidnap.
In this particular case, do you think the Amber Alert system will suffer, that people will take it less seriously because they may think, oh, it's just another hoax mom situation?
I hope and pray for any child who is, God forbid, the victim of a real kidnap, of real endangerment, that this will be viewed as an isolated event, taken for what it is, the woman who cried wolf, and that the Amber Alert system will continue to do the fabulous work that it's done in the past.
What do you think would be appropriate punishment? Take away the emotion that is attached to this case. What would be the appropriate punishment for someone who committed these crimes?
If I were the sentencing judge, I would probably put Bonnie Sweeten on house arrest for a period of time. I would probably put her in therapy, court-mandated therapy, with frequent reports back from the therapist, and I would make her pay restitution. I would also have her do community service.
Do you think that she should have to explain to the community what prompted her actions? There have been allegations, and yet at the time of this taping, no charges, that there could be other crimes that she could be accused of. Did not address that with Mr. Busico because, as of this day, there have been no charges, and I don't like to talk about things that have not happened. But should she have to give a reason, or is it really no one's business why she did this?
Well, you know, again, as a defense lawyer and as a former prosecutor, if I truly want to see someone be contrite for their crimes and to be rehabilitated for their crime, I think it would inure to her benefit when the time is right, and now the time is not right, for her to make an explanation. Perhaps it would come if there is, and I'm not suggesting that there will be, but if there is ever a guilty plea allocution in this case, when she has to agree to plead guilty and explain what she did, that may be the time and the place.
Is there a lesson to be learned from this kidnapping hoax?
Sure there is. If I take what Louis Busico says as so, and this was a woman under extreme stress. We have all been stressed out to the points where we thought we were going to snap. Get help early from the myriad of services and supports that are out there for not only women, but for every individual who feels as stressed as Bonnie Sweeten allegedly felt.
All right, Sadie LaDove, thank you very much for your perspective on this case. I certainly appreciate that. And again, my thanks to Louis Busico for being here with us and giving us a different perspective on the Abduction Hoax Mom story. If you have questions or comments, I would like to hear from you, so please find me on Facebook or email me here at the show. Until the next time, goodbye.